Hello. Yeah, I wanted to take this opportunity to say hi, I love you, give you a kiss, and to announce. Well, I'm going to be talking about my opinion about God being an atheist and how I visualize spirituality, uh, praying, and what praying could mean to me, what praying is, what it does, who you pray, who to pray, who exists, doesn't exist, what makes things a God, what did God create, who created God, where does God come from, what was there first, light or God. Uh, so it's all those mystic, occultist, Kabbalistic, Gnostic, whatever, Egyptian, Greco-Roman, pagan, out of use Asian, Zen and Taoist and Confucianist and whatever, all religions and politics actually does something similar and has a similar effect. I would say that uh, it, it's all space in which we live in, and we create, since matter and everything is, maybe except a black hole, is molecules and atoms and nuclear structure. Like if you take hydrogen as the most simple one, you get one of each of the three basic components, not elements, but components of the, what's the real name? The electron, no, the atom. So, and then when you break those three things apart, the electron, the neutron, and the proton, which is neutral, you get light in a particle accelerator or a shocking technique of some sort. So that would mean that everything comes from light, and that light seems to be there before material or molecules or atoms, because atoms are made of light. So something made light happen. Was there matter before light? No, because matter is light. So there was only frequencies and magnetic fields, maybe, would be the only thing. I'm not a quantum physicist, but just to get you introduced to my point of view, I'd say that since matter is light in a compact form or in a physical, some sort of operation or alchemical operation that it materializes, that means if we can make wood, flowers, constructing building materials out of light, or if a God makes those things, we used to make things out of light. What was I saying? That means that we can also, using words, structure man's thought in a solid cage that's invisible, that comes from vibrations and frequencies and words and mantras, actually, and graphemes, which are part of words like g, ga, ti, a, u, I, ein, a, o, kata, kata, chi, cha, ua. All of those sounds in an alchemical way have an effect when they are called upon. Every sound has an alchemical effect and is related to a combination of elements that form our reality, the periodic table of elements. In alchemia, you'll have the major one will be mercury, that melts your brain, mercury, sulfur, and salt. The mercury looks like a horny fella with a feminine cross going downwards in a circle with horns. And then sulfur has a box, I think. I don't really remember. Then the sun would be a circle, a moon circle with a dot. So at the basis, everything is there's this trilogy: electron, proton, and neutron. So I would think that in life things would be similar to the quantum enigma, and that the only thing that questions me is how batteries and magnets work, being only dualistic plus minus kind of thing, or does the entity make the neutrality, the balance between plus and minus is the whole entity? Maybe that's how they end up with the yin yang to get the trilogy that balances, that forms reality, the electron and proton neutron. So maybe the electron would actually be energy too, because it does become energy in electricity. So talk about that neutral spot, and the I believe that we live, that our thought is space, when it can be all condensed within one individual or multiple individuals by combining celestial entities, energy, or thoughts, wishes, prayers, mentality, opinion, virtue, reason, relativity, and whichever principles act on thought and opinion and reality and truth combine and form a collective mind space within a part of space that would be infinite, or maybe condense cloisters into this black hole, sun, donut shaped uh, universe that would be confined. I don't know if they confine that donut and saying there's nothing elsewhere that's just really huge. But the black holes do something, I guess. We're not there anymore. They found cosmic pasta after the Pastafarians declared themselves true, because that would explain a bit of the power of celestial entities. Because we all come from the universe. We don't come from God. God, in my opinion, is a combination of celestial entities canalizing energy in the same direction, or making a new collective mind space with alignment and opinion, with good and evil, chaos and law, and neutrality, like a bit Dungeons and Dragons. And whatever looks alike tends to gather. So all those celestial entities, those different energies that are chi, prana, we call it beer, whiskey, and rum, wine, tea. I hope you're tasting all this, the wine, the whiskey. I feel it in my mouth. I taste that energy. I am one of them persons that everything is inside them. I'm kind of a daddy now. I'm the pope of people. And the music even goes to say Jesus and I flash, and God even. And Bob Marley said the living God is a living man. If you manage to create the illusion that God is yourself, you will become God. You just have to believe in it strong enough, and you will be able to create and affect nature and do godlike things. But even God has limitations or time to interfere with. Time in our dimension is something we calculate. Apparently, time is not calculated in other dimensions. That would be special to conceive. And maybe how time traveling would manage to fit into the society without us noticing any aliens showing up in the spandex and spraynet, all cruffy, Motley Crue hair, poisoning everybody. So those collective mind space are those domes up on palaces, and those create a magical net. I see that net. I play with it. It makes tunnels and twirls around and connects people in different realms together. And it's YouTubers that play in those tunnels, because it was you, the evil, that would only use those tunnels. The good wasn't aware. Uh, the good wasn't aware of any powers before. So yeah, just a minute. So it's
Oui,
like,
bonjour.
oui, vous venez m'appeler?
Oui, dans le fond, c'est pour savoir, pour les tatous,
Ouais.
est-ce que vous auriez la disponibilité pour 3 personnes ce soir?
Ouais, vous venez vers 6h30?
6h30, parfois on va être là.
C'est bon.
Ah, j'ai une question par exemple.
Quoi?
J'ai un ami qui n'a pas encore 18 ans, par exemple.
Faut que je puisse vérifier. Faut que je puisse vérifier avec ses parents. Je lui pose une question chacun, puis ils répondent la même réponse.
Alright, parfait.
C'est bon?
Ouais,
À plus.
à plus.
Sorry, I'm a tattoo artist. I work freelance. I created my own space within this space. I lost my parents in my mind where they're supposed to be, up in the cockpit. If you have people up here, they actually affect your thoughts and your initiative, your whatever you decide to do. And most of those addictions come from other rats trying to keep their spot on the top of the antenna. And well, that's my reality. I have these little, it's like sexual feeling. They call it love sometimes, but some are a little bit more horny tending, kind of making you really want to get laid, kind of thing. But those are little crumbs or clams that clam up, and then I listen to music. Music just grabs me and starts rubbing the clam out, and the clam and the lovey feeling is like a microphone. Oui, bonjour. Ah, ok, c'est bon. Ok. So what was I saying? So yeah, I built a space of my own, not having the air related to my parents and the space that my family created for me within them, because usually we live inside our parents, and our parents feel us on their sexual chakra or the telephone that we use to do magic with, and telepathy, and a whole bunch of stuff that the right hand, the right wing was able to do that the left wing and good people weren't aware of, and a lot aren't aware of today. Alchemia has been kept silent since before Christ because of the burn language. So all religions, according to me, are combinations of people that are celestial entities that developed an ideology and theological logic or utopia that form a collective consciousness that creates the collective mind space that belongs to that group of persons. So Hinduists will have their dome within. So there's different domes. I'd figure they connect in some sort of way, but Christians have not given their influence to other religions that much, and other religions don't seem to have religions don't seem to influence themselves amongst themselves. They keep to their doctrine and or their utopia or their theological ideal, and they stick with their theory. Usually, they don't evolve. That's what I don't like about religion. Is written in stone and stays that way. It's some sort of law or scripture that this pattern that we abide by that is never changed, and or practically, like the Pope accepted homosexuality and abortion, I think, or not yet. I don't pay attention to what the Pope does. I'm a theist, and I don't want him to dictate me. So I'm not even in that bubble, in the cage they call Christianity. That's a cage. They're maintaining fear in the front row with the Christ dead on the stick. That's what they're showing you first, above your head, greater than you. And then the priest would used to be positioned in order to dictate. And he would have been kissed by higher priests, starting from the Pope, that would be probably under the influence of a council, like the Khazars, or that would be for maybe Israel, or other secret societies or cults, or a circle of financial partners of some sort, mafias, organized crime. Everything touched the Pope now, so I wouldn't want one person to dictate over me because you actually end up obeying and abiding by and being happy about it, taking it like your reality, because you live in a mind space and that you share, and something greater than you transcribes the truth inside you. Well, inside me at least, because I contain a lot of people. They're all in these tubes, and they go all around. And then when I have like really bad ones, that's when music grabs me, and it starts grinding down this trail of love that you print words on, and that the guy gets at the other end. He'll actually love those things you said on the love. So I look silly right now, but they usually headbang or do rodeo or gaming that makes them move a lot, like playing Wii or something. That when they dig their way through your garbage or your hardened energy, and they make their houses in there. Those are YouTubers. So those take us. So I'm trying to get my cockpit, the God position, clean and away from influence. So maybe after this kiss, I might have became Jesus, because music calls me Jesus and God and Satan. So don't fear the devil no more. Lucifer is this actor that plays in Lucifer. Well, he's Lucifer now, his character. And that's how they build entities and spirits, by making movies, by mimicking them or writing them down. They take part in the collective mind space. Whatever is written on the right here plays on the pad. When you have that red mic, that stays. When they say right here, right on, or all right, it's not all to the right. It's all right. We will all write truth and reality. And whoever is evil within this social structure will be printed upon and will be dictated upon. But not in this evil, terrible, Hitler-like dictature with police and everything. No. A dictature that you don't even hear, that goes directly to your mind and that gives you needs. If you're a hockey fan in Canada, you probably want a Ford F-150 or a Chevy Ram. Like, I'm a Ram. They all want to drive me. I've been the scapegoat all my life. So that's a fascist Christian way to drive the Ram and all that. But it's part of reality, because you see what the Bible has written. You see those prophecies come true in real people in the real life. And hell is a real place on earth within a mind space that connects you to death and evil and parasites and porks and whatever eats your mind and destroys your moral and all that. Hell is on earth. It's something that we've created, that the Christianity created by writing it down and speaking about it. And the way they spoke about hell is what hell became. And then plus they had patriarchs and popes and parish priests, cardinals, and all that, all whatever was had a position in the church, they all had their word to say, and they can even do enchantment circles to make some certain dynamics and orders and sequences between people appear, or link different objects like stuff you like to something that will destroy you. Uh, Give you reflexes in your mind and all that. But all that, everything we speak about in life is something that will take part in our reality, depending on how big our reality is and how many people we affect below. So you got to be careful about what you say, because prophecies do come true. Look at Noah's Ark. We are going to drown soon and need food if we don't plant trees, and if we don't plant trees and diminish greenhouse effect gases. It's really how I forget about those important things. Something above me must be erasing those before they get to me, because those are all principles we shouldn't stutter upon. It's a place in the mind that has been erased and rewrote by somebody or something that didn't want us to take ecological causes into our hands, like if they were really primordial and important and life demanding and life saving. Our lives are in danger. We have to be ecologically aware. We have to be ecologically productive. We have to take care of our garbage and our waste and our greenhouse effect gases. Our greenhouse effect gases and our greenhouse effect gases. We have to get rid of those. I have to repeat it. Something had got that stuff erased in my hand. I'm exploring a mind space that something is trying to keep me out of, that I cannot develop anymore or any further, that it's erasing my inspiration as soon as it gets in. We're stuck with something that's dictating or that's filtrating our information above us, before us. So we have to get ahead of that thing and program it to work for ourselves and to quit erasing reality and quit erasing good stuff and work for You Are Now Kissed. And whatever is doing that, I don't know how to get rid of that effect, on how whenever you extrapolate it and pass this line, you end up in this realm where you have trouble gathering all your thoughts, and you have to be really careful about what you say up here, because this is the collective mind space that belongs and affects everyone. And something up here is bred or created to keep us from developing any further thoughts and realities. So our inspiration comes from somewhere, because now I've managed to reconnect, and you can see I have a lot less trouble speaking about all this reality. But the ecological crisis has been troubled and rewritten upon. Global warming is something real, and we have to take care of that really soon. I just managed, I think, to get back into that tunnel of ecology and open that nature needs us, and we need to save nature. We have to save and quit producing all that garbage. So that's how you get, by stepping into the collective mind space and grabbing the mic. When things are keeping you from being yourself or thinking, as soon as I hit that, do you notice I kind of get a white? I see I'm where something erases up here when I'm exactly where I look for what I'm saying. Something is bleaching my mind as soon as I get on the point. There's something interfering with me developing any further ideas and realities that's keeping me from creating. Because with speech you create. We created Noah's Ark, and it's going to happen. It won't happen, because we are going to turn history and turn our destinies around by acting right away and using the power of the collective mind space we created, and that every one of us good souls that became block apartments and manoirs and castles and apartment buildings for all those squatters that need a place to live, that didn't manage to make their own mind space, and where they can breathe and where they find their own way, where they find the Buddha, the Chi, the sexual chakra, the crown, the third eye, the vocal cords, the speech chakra, the heart. You can open your heart. My heart is wide open. It's something is sticking in there. My heart, there's a wire going through my heart. That shouldn't be there. So there's something I'm dragging in there. There's these things we do unconsciously that have been put there by somebody else when they were governing us, when they were dictating, like a Benedict, like a holy blessed dictator. So when you are dictated, you start loving what that dictator told you to love. And they don't even have to be terrible and scary. They just have to repeat it over and over. And people are going to make themselves start adopting that reality and maintaining and supporting it in the streets. We were starting to get really bad values with all that sex and violence and whatever the market was presenting, the sex industry. It has its place, and it would help pedophiles and a lot of people that don't get sex and that would need it for therapy. But the way it was presented, it was money orientated, and it was a trap, a maze. It was a hooker would hook you up on a hook and hope that you'd hang off of it one of these days and get you hooked on everything that's hookable on, like John Lee Hooker. So we got to get rid of all those hooker stuff and hooker style attitudes. The hookers, they have to hook the evil, the malicious people now. They have to hook the cant. They have to hook fascism and Nazis and racists and condescending people and destructors and haters. That's who you hook. You hook haters. You hook evil narcissists and pervert narcissists that play in people's minds and that parasite everybody's reality, and that changes what we want into something wrong and destructive, and that is ruining our environment. That's ruining our habitat. We're gonna have to leave Earth, and we don't even have a second place. They say that in 30 years we're gonna need food. It's gonna be Black Summer. You see how Black Mondays are crazy in the States? Imagine Black Summer and people hungry everywhere. I don't think they'd be as peaceful as the Indians and Africans that are hungry. They're really, really peaceful. Because put hunger like that in America, with all the zombie movies they created a whole bunch of zombies. And they created this reality that could become real because it's been told as a story. And those people actually said those things in a certain place. And sometimes they're on the plateau when they do that, and they do change everybody and put a bit of that character in everybody that sees that movie. Whoever adopted the character will become that person in reality once in a while. And a lot of people with that system within the dome will, if you decide to live within a dome, that's because you decide to be a marionette, a bit of a controlled or guided. Some people would rather be controlled. Some people need to be guided. Some people need to be leaded. Some people need to be dictated upon. Some people just need to be let free. Some people are made to be let alone. Some people are made to lead other people. Everybody has their place. But the way they were wiring everything up, it was in a destructive way that was making us kill each other and sabotage each other. And we were all stuck with this kind of underground Trojan horse war. The three, Trois, the city of Troy, Trois, the devil makes three. And two is them, because in French it says eux. Deux is eux, is them. They used to consider themselves as being we, but we took it back. Now we can trust the we. We is yes in French. We is independence. We is the perfect mantra that we have taken back for ourselves. And now we will be encouraged and we will be strong because we have risen, and we will rise again and keep on rising and stay risen. We will stay risen and awake. We will awake soon. We are going to realize. I'm trying to pep you up and giving all this energy. I'm writing down this tape, this spider web that's inside of me, that's all growing and wrapping itself around and making all these trails that that taste like candy on the corner of my. That's what it is when you're a host. When I'm a bus. I'm a boss because I'm the bus. If I'm the bus, I'm the ram. The ram's the boss now. So whenever you scapegoat, you're deciding who's your boss, and you can't keep them quiet anymore because all the scapegoats know their power now and are gonna notice slowly the control they have over all of you people and all that negative energy and hatred that you give them and that nonsense jokes and ridiculity and whatever that it won't affect him at all. They will just go down like water on a duck's back because we take care of our scapegoats. We take care of the ram. We take care of Jack. Jack is back on the track. Jack, after his terrible Christmas, they made him live. My Jack, I'm Jack. I lived that terrible Christmas, that Christmas Eve or whatever the Mr. Jack's thing. Guy was dressed in that black with those white lines haunting me everywhere. Those white lines on the shirt means that people are reminding you to do drugs all the time with little words that they're teaching you more and more words that mean to do that we have to clean up and remove all those associations that hell made with good words. Like in French, santé is when you toast. But why would you put something deadly with a santé? It means health. So they took health and made something to drink with it to destroy society. So we have to go back up in the collective mind space and re-give the proper identification and the proper definition to all of those concepts, words, and graphemes and mantras, and to put them where they belong at the right height on the right pad. To have all the sounds affect the proper elements they are connected with, and the vibrations and frequencies are reunited and are cleansed down, because the Nazis actually played with frequency, the 432 hertz or the 440. I don't know which one is the safe one, but their frequency that affects us too. So all of that become stimuli or elements that can influence your reality. And music can influence your mentality and will create mind spaces or play with a mind space of their own. Or you can, within a mind space, open yourself up and talk down a pad and stretch a space for your little group within the dome of your religion. That has been created by people that are celestial entities with common goals and opinion and theological ideas. So what the Nazis were starting to do, it was to combine religions, and they had put the Christian religion aside, and it is fascism, and it is scaring people with hell, and hell is on earth. It's not after. It's what the way they scapegoat you and make you believe your shit, and exclude you and exile you. That's hell. That's the well. That's the den for the lion. The moors. That's all hell. That's where it's down here in our garbage and our stomach when we're a host. Hell is the well. Well opens the Buddha. In the well, there's a generator. There's a Buddha. There's a preach and energy and all that stuff. And he's not, my fucking roommate is a fucking asshole. He's going down, 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 down. He's making his fucking noise again, and he just managed to make it back up, but his fucking click noise won't fucking, I get so mad at him. You have to talk to yourself, and you're always kept alone, but you don't have anybody to talk to, and you're taking care of all this beautiful universe for all these people that are in your body that decided you were dad and you were God and all that, and you're trying to make their life as better as it can, and you wish them to get whatever they wish for and whatever they want if it's realizable and if it's not destructive or non-violated purposes. Everything is possible. Be careful of what you say and what the way you say it and where you say it in the collective mind space or within yourself. Sometimes you're possessed by demons or other people that make you speak in the wrong way, or they give you the black way or the evil way. You don't want those. Those are, or maybe they have black magic answers or black protection within them. I don't know if from evil and black ways, there's even a neutral way, I'd guess. That the neutral way would probably have a lot of interesting stuff to drink at and drink in. The neutral way should be something that's mutually appreciated from good and evil. And then you have the good way, our way, you have my way, you have Justin Powers' way, you have the Justin Case's way, Justin Saint's way for the insanity, reason and purposes, and cleansing, or to get people dimensionalized and insane when they're evil and play with, screw up with people's mind. To give them dementia, bring them to just insane. Just insane is the dementia zone. It's all run and ruled by mental people, and that they are on top, so they get to control and create, and they know what has happened to their own mind and the links that have been done to destroy them and get them sick and onto medication. So they know what to do to give them lessons, mental patients. That would be the best structure forever. They give the lessons. Then they could use narcissists that have the power to mind control and telepathy, that are sane, that are balanced, and that can play in the dark or in the intercom mode or in the magic realm or esoterical common mind space, magical mind space, alpha state, brainwave state stages, or even dream stages, hypnosis. There's lots of things that we can do with the mind and magic that it's infinite possibilities. Hey, the spaghetti monster church created cosmic pasta that they found in church. It's even 100 times harder than metal, but you can't bring none back. There's only 1 gram of that cosmic pasta would blow up the whole earth. And it exists. They made it become true by believing in it. So whatever you believe in, whatever you try to believe in something, it might just happen. Or if a lot of people believe in the same thing or are told or are focused on the same idea, they will most likely end up living it one of these days, or their ancestors or somebody will live through that prophecy one of these days. And since we've all been abiding by the Bible that much, that's why there's this apocalypse thing showing up. If we wouldn't fear apocalypse and wouldn't believe in apocalypse, apocalypse would not happen. Apocalypse is a story within the Bible cage. That was to keep people in order and obeying and working and all that. But you don't need to scare and intimidate people to get them to do what you want. You just have to influence or command. Some people need to be commanded upon and need to be parlé dans le casque, need to be printed on. You just have to talk truth to them, and they'll act that way, and they'll be happy to act that way, and they'll be happy to be influenced by something greater, something leader. So some people need that. Other people just need to be guided, and they are their own judge. But they still need the collective mind space to guide them. That the collective's mind space, you can call that God. But it's not this one entity. It's a combination of different minds that create common value space in which we can. But what we would need is those spaces should all interconnect and share among a higher dome that unites in a circle or a sphere, depending on alignment, and that balances out all those schools and factions of magic and cults and all that, that each find their own spot in this new spherical dome that would be the earth dome of common religion. Because the chakras they created are neat. They created chakras or started feeling chakras. I don't know, but since they believed in it, they appeared. I feel chakras. And then Buddhists have something true to say, and Islam has something true to say. Even the church has something true to say. But they made this fascist dynamic of dominant, predatory, wolf-like, like the Romulus and Romulus feeding off the wolf in Rome. And it keeps this conflict and this going, and it keeps this competition and this market going that's destroying everything. So we have to get rid of all this capitalist interest. We don't need capitalist interest, and interest should disappear from lending money. They should just have a minimal interest, and a lot of things could be changed with a common mind space that combine different people's needs. Because then you just restructure like a tree, but the pyramid you put it upside down. So all the exploited countries influence the exploiters. So that way, when you're exploited, you don't tend to want to exploit something else because you don't like that, and you know it's wrong and it hurts. So you don't, and you live through it. So you don't have the tendency to perpetrate that. Maybe that's why people chose me as a leader, because I suffered a lot and that I know what it does, and I don't want to repeat it. I only repeat it to people that won't let me go, and that then I have the best dictionary there is of bad tricks to do to people because they tried them all on me. So I just have all these ideas. I know all these spells I can do, and fuck ups and fuck shit up real bad. Yeah, stuff hides in shit sometimes. So when you have a mic, don't be shy. When you're the scapegoat, don't be shy and don't be scared of the redheads that scare you with knuckles and getting hit. Just be yourself, or don't stick around there when you're being scapegoated all the time. If they don't accept you the way for what you are, and you're just being moved upon, the only thing that will happen is that rope is going to get closer and closer to you. But when you're like me, that's all you have as a friend is those redheads and Harley Quinn and the rope. And my head goes like this, and I go like this when I'm standing around, when I'm in public, like a hangman on a rope. And it does it all the time. But that's the Christian reality. That's the Christian dynamic that they put up every church, every mass. They're structuring all those people, those believers. All the believers need to be rewired to truth and not the Christian reality, the Christian truth. It became truth, but that's not a truth that we want to live through. We don't want Christianity to be our reality, because Christianity is based on fascism and fear, and it only has three options: the hell, heaven, or the purgatory. So what if you want to just wander with different lives and reincarnate for a while? They created reincarnation so we can reincarnate. So maybe some people, when they die, they'll feel like reincarnating and starting living, because I never lived love. They gave me a wheelchair. She sabotaged me. It was a Black Widow. She killed me as much as she could. She wired me to know what my every move, and she connected me to the worst people, and played with my friend circle, and got rid of all the love and good influence in my life, and got me to lose jobs, and got me to not be able to keep any jobs and work or go crazy. And that dynamic that of the Christ that I got made that everywhere I'd go, I'd get these people harassing me all the time. Fucking hamburgers. Yeah, the burger sandwiches of good people that are becoming little fascist soldiers that attack you all the time. They can cast and program you with their casting and spelling. It's all hidden alchemy. And the TV and society protects you and closes you up so you don't notice all that, and that you react before something gets noticed. So it's been kept secret by this mechanism of reactions and chain reactions, people reacting in a chain and distracting whoever's questioned or whoever would want to talk about that, they bringing the conversation away all the time, or violence appears, or intimidation, scary stories, just hospital stories, or whatever they use to scare you all the time. That's a reality we don't want no more. We don't want intimidators, and intimidating is not a value or something that valorizes anybody. Nobody will be valorized being a bully. Nobody will be bullying no more. Anyways, being a bully, they'll stop. They'll start doing it through mind control. So people have to realize, open their realize, and they have to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You guys have to realize, put real eyes on to realize the real lies you're living in, and that's making this allegory of the cave where Socrates came out and saw the sun, and I'm trying to explain to you that the real sun exists and the universe there to grant all of us, and there's other places in the universe that could sustain life and all that, and we're not. And since the celestial entities don't know distance, you can or time, you can travel or reincarnate where you want, or go where you want, or create your own new planet if you want, the way you want it. And in 100,000 light years, your planet will exist, and you will be the king. So everything is possible because we created cosmic pasta. We even managed to create a nuclear bomb that could destroy us all. We've surpassed ourselves and surpassed physics, and now we have to understand that we are creating by verbalizing. We are casting things into reality, and that's why you never speak anything negative. You never speak no evil, say no evil. No, then you won't see no evil if you don't speak or say any evil, and you don't show it because we should not be seeing evil, and then you just obey the brave. Obey the brave because we are the brave. The resistance. I'm the brave one. I went past my worst fear and death. I lived deadly kisses to become your father. If I am, I'm not everybody's father. Some people don't live in this cage. I'm convinced, but they should, because I should influence them, and I'm letting collectivity influence me on top of me. But I noticed that I might have more of an important role that I think in this society. And if you're a chosen one, you will start seeing those signs after this video that will start to appear and speak to you and to guide you in your decisions and choices that you have to do, and to play with your how you are and your values, and make you become somebody holy and united and in balance and communication with your feelings. It's all feelings. They're playing with feelings and conditioning us to avoid all those feelings. So we have to reconstruct a new religion that combines all the best elements of all the religions and creates and invents new ones, and that evolves with evolution and humanity and mankind, and that mankind stops being persecuted or persecuting themselves, because we're all equipped to kill each other, whether we want it or not. We accept things that are killing ourselves, thinking it's the only way, but that's because that's what they showed us when they were on top. We're on top now. So like metal, love alternative stuff, love folk punk, love punk music, love folk music, all the grindcore, the music that speaks the truth will heal you, will keep you on track. Even some electronic music, but you've got to be aware. A lot of electronic, a lot of rap, and every kind of music has been parasited by fascists and people that dirty the waves, that get you consuming and needing and wanting different things that you don't actually need. So that's the big problem nowadays, is that to get rid of those toxic personalities, and since nothing gets created, nothing gets lost, and that everything gets transforms, they will transform. I will transform. I will change for the best. I will change to be somebody better. I will change to be a better person. That is having more fun, and that it's getting more valorized by following a constructive and live lifeful theme with the Che, with neutrality, with equality, with anarchist principles. That's my cage. That's not a cage. There's a hole in the ceiling. You can walk out all you want. You got the universe, and there's no strings attached in my cage, in my religion, in the new religion, in the new reality of a lot of human beings right now that have all been touched as I speak by this word and these things I just said. My roommate just made it up again, so I'm gonna have to flush him down and tell him to get the fuck lost and that his fucking noises are, don't fucking bring him back up in the cockpit with those fucking noises. I'm getting sick of him. Long stays down. It's like I feel this energy. I look weird when I do that. So it's been almost an hour. Usually my videos last an hour. So now I have to restart getting my roommate out of my head again because he's trying to make me not listen to the music, stop discussing, trying to get me tired, so I stop existing. I'm tired right now, my roommate. I can even talk to them on the microphone and make them not like video games. So yeah, when you're a host and a father, you get all these people influencing you when they all try to work it up. Okay, so yeah, so this was it for today's presentation. So take care of nature. Welcome to this new mind space. Take care of it. Take care of yourselves. Hello? Yes, yeah.